Killer 26-12 over here at Featherstone against Goole Vikings, not part of the game plan.
No, very frustrated. Very frustrated, obviously, with the weather. Very frustrated with our performance, our lack of ability to adapt to the weather, and then our lack of ability to be resilient in a period where both teams had a man in the bin, and they scored a couple of tries, and I think that was sort of the game. Then it's very wet. It's very hard to chase a game in the wet, and that's what we did. Tried to fix some things up at half time, but we went out and delivered the same errors and ill discipline with and without the ball, unfortunately. And you get what you deserve. They completed high in the wet. They were catching the ball, so there was no excuse. I thought they kicked really well. They put us in corners. They forced dropouts. They made us come off our goal line. They were outstanding and fully deserved their win.
Opposite to what Keith had dished up this afternoon.
Yeah, the complete polar opposite. We started really well. I felt we didn't handle the stoppages once we'd scored and we were on top. There was a couple of longer stoppages for injuries, one for us, one for them. There was a little bit of ill discipline from both sides, and obviously the sin bin, and it was just there was no flow to the game. And again, we didn't handle that as well as they did.
It was a stop-start affair. It was quite feisty in some parts as well. There was an incident there in the first half where we lost Baharrel, and Reece Dean was sent to the bin as well. What do you make of that incident? I think it started with Savelio and Flanagan.
Yeah, it started. Some feedback, from match officials, but I don't want to compromise anything. It'll go to the match review, and we'll see the outcome from that. Obviously, last away game we've had players sin binned and a player sent off. I feel it needs to be consistent, and I don't think that was consistent today.
Goole have obviously played on this field last week. They got a big score. They've gone for 2 from 2 at this ground.
Yeah, they've done well. It was totally different conditions today, and the conditions that we'd be training all week. We had a plan that we wanted to move them around. They're a big pack, and that was our plan. Obviously, get here today and it's torrential rain, which you don't expect in July, or maybe you should do. But obviously, then we had to adapt on the run. But a lot of our errors weren't because of the weather. When we were on top, we were going short sides. We've dropped the ball. We're passing into traffic, and then the way we started was really good with the momentum, and we were really making a dent, and then we just invited that pressure back in the game. And they're a side who are good on the ball. They've got some quality players in there. You can see that they're coming too, and they're off the back of good form. And if you give a team off the back of momentum and good form, that amount of ball and field position, then they're going to make you pay. I thought it was quite even for some areas of the game, and the score could have blown out, and at times, but we were inconsistent, and I feel that's probably the trouble. It's our players we're either 8 out of 10 or we're 2 out of 10, and there's nothing in between, and we need to fix that. And that's whether we will have all the personnel, there will be some movement, but also the players we've got and the players we retain have got to improve in them areas as well. So I'm really disappointed today with that performance. There was a good support here following us, and they'll go home frustrated and unhappy as we do. And we've got a really fortunate. We've got a back-to-back week, and we've got a home game next week, and we'll aim to put some real good work in the week and deliver a performance better than that today.
You touched there that it felt like at times the Keithley following was larger than the Goole following. Yeah,
they were good. They got behind the lads, but like I say, frustrated. We didn't turn. We it's not a lack of effort or anything like that. It's not like we didn't turn up, but just we really lacked some smarts today. We speak about footy IQ. Matty goes in the sin bin, and we can see 12 points. They still had the same amount of players as us, and they lost a half. And we can't just be relying on certain individuals. At times it's got to be a collective. And I just thought too many of us were way off today, and very disappointed. Very disappointed because didn't see it coming. The way we've trained and the intensity and the improvement in performances. We can't just feel comfortable at Cougar Park. That's 2 away games in a row now where we've not got results. So I'll go away, and the staff will go away. It starts with me. We'll look at everything in detail and how we're preparing. But like like I say, it's about transitioning it onto there. And at the moment, too many of us are saying the right things and doing the right things in training, but what matters is out there at 3 p.m. and like I say, we've not been good enough today.
A late consolation try for Faz, who's back after his ban.
Yeah. Obviously Nunes did well to make the break. We didn't panic when we got up there and we got over the line. I think it's really good that we've got 3 games in a row now. Everyone needs that flow of games. There's players to come back in. Leo took an ankle injury today, which was a shame, because again he started like house on fire, making breaks, busting tackles, and just got his ankle pegged back a little bit. He tried to carry on and just show some toughness. So hopefully we'll see how his X-rays go, and it won't be as bad as we fear. There's players waiting in the wings and players fit, so we'll have a strong side out next week. There's no excuse on personnel. It's what we do and what that personnel does.
Thank you.